Hey, hey, fam bam.
What's up?
What's going on?
What's up?
We're back again
What's up?
with another video.
What's up?
So we hope you guys are doing well on today. It was actually a pretty nice day today. I think it's supposed to get back cold tomorrow.
I don't know. I didn't go outside today. I didn't even check the temperature today.
It was nice. I think it got up to almost to 60 almost, but tomorrow's going back to 40 something. So
yeah, that's terrible. This weather out here has been up and down. It's like
spring, fight the winter and conquer. It's your time to shine. Dang.
Yeah, this weather just been
This
up
cold
and
is
down.
getting on my nerves. So we got Princess here too, y'all. I know they can't see her, but she's sitting in between us. She's always somewhere close by. Hello. So you guys, today we want to talk about what it's like having a disability and not having support, right?
Yeah, and when we say support, we mean like people who you can call on to help you out and people who are close to you. And I know it's a lot of people probably in those situations where they don't have a good support system.
Right.
We out here in Columbus, Ohio now. I lived in Detroit my whole life, and when I was in Detroit, I had a pretty good support system. I had friends, I had family. I mean, I got family out here I can call. My nephew, he's out here. He's a good support system, but he works a lot. And our son, he works a lot as well. So it's kind of hard to call on them to have them do things. But in Detroit, I had a plethora of friends. A super palette of friends that I can call. And if they couldn't do it, they had somebody else who they can call to do it for them, whatever the case may be. So I had a pretty good support system when it came time to go to the grocery store or even just make small errands, whatever the case may be.
Going to the doctors.
Getting things read. Even out here, like getting our grass cut, it's a little bit more of a challenge, without having to pay someone. But in Detroit, I had 4, 5, 6 nephews. I had great nephews, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I can always call on one of them to help out. Our son, he does what he can. I don't get it wrong, but it's not the same thing as having a true support system.
Yeah. Because, these young people, they're more so about themselves and what they want to do. And, we can get him to do as much as we can get him to do. And he works a lot at the same time. And in his spare time, he just be wanting to chill and do his thing. So,
yeah, I can't blame him,
Yeah.
Work hard, play hard, chill hard, whatever you're going to say.
So it's just like, when we were in Detroit, we did have, him as, an extra vehicle to be able to get around and stuff like that. So that was good. My husband, his family is a very, very good support system. Everybody usually pulls together to help him or, help us because, we're together now. So they help us out a lot whenever any one of us need a ride somewhere. Somebody's available to help or they'll work it out somehow, some kind of way. So that's what I love about his family. They pull together and they help each other. It's not just about him, but they look out for each other as a family. So I think that's a vitally important thing to have, a good family unit like that. So I'm thankful that I've even been able to experience his family, being my in-laws. They help me out just as much as they help him out. So it's awesome. But on my end with my family, it's a little bit different because I'm not as close to my family as Trey is to his family. Like, I see my family when I see them. I talk to them when I talk to them, and that's pretty much it. And it's more so because we all just lead different lives. And some people would think that because me and my siblings grew up in foster care together or went to foster homes together that we might be a little closer, but that's not the case for us. It just seems like, we're so different. Like me, I'm more so, I'm saved. I'm a minister. live my life to please God. As to my family, they're not really saved. They're not bad people or anything, but they're not, we just on two different levels in our lives. And Tremaine's family, they are more like Christian, like, go to church and,
Well,
live
I think the whole structure of how people were brought up
a certain way.
plays a part.
Yeah.
And being that y'all was brought up the way y'all was brought up, it just didn't have the bond and the structure. I mean, don't get me wrong. Y'all try to look out for each other as best as y'all can.
Yeah, we try to.
I can see the difference because
it's a difference because me and my siblings, we weren't always together our whole lives.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have, there was times where we were separated and then times where we were together. And then, towards the end of our childhood, we were separated. And then when we became adults, we ended up kind of connecting back together. But it's like our lives were kind of different at that point. So, my family, my siblings, they're very protective of me. Like, don't mess with me or anything like that. And anything that they can do, they will try to do. But I just don't call on them like that because we're just not close in that way. We love each other, but as far as reaching out and stuff, we're not close in that way.
Yeah, not only that, I mean, like, there was a lot of times in your adult life where you didn't even have nobody to call. I mean, like, you went from living in Detroit to living down in
moving
Atlanta
around
by yourself.
That was tough too.
Before that, you was in Tennessee. We know you and you were not pretty much by yourself.
Yeah, moving around trying to find myself.
And then you was back in Detroit. Then you was back in North Carolina in the communities in the city where your family wasn't at, but you was close to them. But your foster family.
Yeah.
Your adopted family. So I guess you had to adapt to not having a support system. Was that like tough for you?
Yeah, it was very tough because it's like trying to get things done is difficult when you can't drive. You know what I'm saying? And then somehow I always end up in cities that don't have real public transportation.
Yeah.
So that's another big thing. I don't know how that always happened to me.
Yeah, we in that situation now where transportation. I mean, they got public transportation.
It's better here though than it was in the other places I live.
Yeah, you're right. Because it's just limited here.
It's not limited, but it's there.
See, I lived in Detroit all my life. Public transportation, it's always been a thing for me ever since I was a kid. You know what I'm saying? Even as a little kid, I was catching the bus downtown with my friends, going to play arcades. That's when I could see, you know what I'm saying? But even now out here, like, our support system is fine. It's cool. We got members of the church to help out. We got our sister Jody, who we always talk about. She helps out as best she can,
yeah,
but she's an older woman, so we don't really want to put too much on her or pulling on her like that.
Yeah.
But she's always willing to help us out. We had another brother out here. He's no longer out here no more, but he was always willing to help out.
Yeah, he was helpful too.
But our support system is not the same as it was when we were closer to my family. My nephew, like I said, he helps out. Like, I can call him right now. If he's available, he'll come. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Or pick something up for us or whatever.
Whatever the case may be. So, I still got a somewhat support system, but it's not as strong. It's not as robust as it used to be, as it once was. You know what I'm saying? It's an adjustment for me. Like I said, going from having a strong support system. But as a person who didn't have a strong support system, I guess you kind of used to fending for yourself a little bit.
I mean, yeah, I'm used to fending for myself, but it was tough because there's a lot of things that I needed to do that I couldn't do.
Yeah, I imagine so.
And even now being out here, we don't, like you said, we don't have a strong support system. Like, most people work during the day, like during business hours, and we have business that we got to take care of.
And then the transportation is so limited. It's limited to certain times where you can use the public transportation in the city that we stay in. So it's like you might get there in the morning, but there's no guarantee you're going to get home after you're done because of the way the transportation system is set up out here.
Yeah.
Without paying Uber or paying Lyft or something, And who got money to pay Uber and Lyft? Not us.
Not us.
You know what I'm saying? Not now, not at this time.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe one day, but Well, not maybe one day, for sure one
It'll
day.
happen one day, but for right now, it's like you need money to do everything. And right now, the resources is very limited, so we can't access
Shoot,
certain things.
resource limit. I need to get me a haircut limit.
Right. So that's how deep it is, right?
Yeah, it's deep out here, but not only that, even in Detroit, you know what I'm saying, I had a support system when it came to getting my haircut. I didn't have to pay to get my haircut.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I had people who I did business with who cut my hair with. I had my cousin who can cut my hair. I had my other cousin who can cut my hair. Out here, I don't know nobody.
Right.
I literally had to find a barber to cut my hair, and then my barber is like 25 minutes away from where I live at, so it's no getting up, catching a lift, and then, like I said, it's catching a lift that far and coming back home. That's like a $30 haircut, $50 ride. You know what I'm saying? 25 there, 25 there. That's $80 to get a haircut, and that's just ridiculously high. You know what I'm saying? But we're not complaining. We're just letting you know that we want to know how do you people who don't have a support system, even some sighted people need a support system. You know what I'm saying? Everybody needs a support system.
Everybody needs a support system. And we pretty much moved out here with, no family or friends.
Limited support system.
That we can reach out to. So it's like, thankfully we do have, a certain amount of people that we can call on to help. And we do know people who are willing to help. So it's not like we're just completely in the dark.
Yeah, but for me, it's not the same because in Detroit,
it's not the same.
I didn't feel like I was pulling on people to do things for me.
Mm-hmm.
Out here, I feel like I might be taking people out their way. I'm tired of somebody's day. You know what I'm saying? A lot of things play into it when it comes to asking people for help out here. I don't feel the same. I don't feel the negativity toward me or anything like that. But I don't feel like
it's just
free.
How you feel on the inside.
Yeah, I don't feel like it's free for me to just be able to call somebody and say, "Hey, Bobby, can you take me here?" Or, "Susie, can you do this for me?" It's not the same feeling, you know what I'm saying? Versus when I was in Michigan, I would just call my niece and say, "Hey, if you out today, can you take me here?" Or, I gotta get picked up can you pick me up from the doctor's office at 2:00? I'll call you. Whatever the case may be. Even if she couldn't pick me up, she sent her brother, you know what I'm saying? Or,
that's what I'm saying.
You know what I'm saying? I had my friend, you know what I'm saying, one of my best friends in Detroit. When he couldn't do it, he'd be like, I call one of my friends to do it for you. You know what I'm saying? And sure enough, one of his friends that I knew wasn't my friend, but there was a friend of his. They're like, "Yeah, Brian wanted me to come take you to the doctor's office." And it was like, "Oh, okay, no problem." Like the first time when I was 21, when I went to the casino for the first time, my homeboy had his homegirl take me to the casino.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? And so I went to the casino with her for the first time. And that's because my homeboy had to work, you know what I'm saying, on my birthday when I turned 21. But he's like, "Don't worry about it, I'm going to have my homegirl come take you."
Wow.
Several times where it was like, he didn't send somebody over there to do something for me. So it's just a matter of, I don't feel as comfortable asking some people out here. Even though I know a lot of people that's part of our ministry, if they're free, they would help us out. Don't get me wrong, because our ministry is a very helpful ministry. It's just, personally, we don't feel.
I don't really be feeling like bothering them.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't feel like bothering them personally. It took a while for us to even establish a relationship with Jody for us to be comfortable enough to even ask her to help us out sometimes.
And now she calls us and say, "Hey, I'm getting off of work. Wanted to check in to see if y'all needed to go anywhere or need anything." And that, that's refreshing because at that point we don't feel like we're pulling on her or we're, asking her to go out of her way to do something. So
it's pure genuine.
It's genuine, yeah. So we appreciate that, and and some people, it can kind of be like out of sight, out of mind. If you don't reach out to them and let you know you need, then they won't think to check up on you or to see if you need anything while they're out. So, but with like Tremaine's family, he's a part of that family, so they automatically know. And they'll call and check up on each other. Shoot, I love Tremaine's family. They're very, very close and very, like, what's the word? I don't know, but
I don't know.
It's the way family should be.
Yeah, we just
So I'm thankful for that. But I wish we had them out here.
yeah. My nephew, you know what I'm saying. He's part of my family from Detroit. He stays out here, so he does his best he can. Like
He does. We can always call
there's been
him.
several times where I had to go to Detroit for one reason or another. He's like, "Don't worry about it, Unc. I'll drive you.
Yep.
You don't worry about it, Unc. I'll drive you."
And he did it. Yep.
Like he's always willing to just, you know what I'm saying, if he has the time and he's not doing anything, he'd drive me anywhere if I ask him. But you know, I know he's a very busy person.
He's very busy. He's more busy than our son is.
And then not only being busy with work, he likes to travel a lot. So sometimes I call him. He's like, "Oh, I'm in Chicago, or I'm in Florida, about to go on this cruise." Like, do you need some? I'm like, "No, don't worry about it, nephew."
So you can't be mad at him. Like you said, he work hard, he play hard, he does his thing. So we don't expect anybody to hold their life up to do for us or anything like that. So
let us know how y'all deal with getting support, whether you're sighted, blind, or have a physical impairment, whatever the case may be. Let me know what kind of support do y'all get and how you deal with not getting the support. You know, depending on your region. Do you stay in a region where public transportation is low, or you know what I'm saying? Is it hard for you to get here or there? You know what I'm saying? Like I know our insurance would pay for some form of transportation to get to doctor's appointments and stuff, but I want to go to the gym sometimes.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? And
I definitely do.
it's hard to get to the gym sometimes because you know what I'm saying, public transportation ain't there. Then the gym ain't here. You know what I'm saying? When I was in Michigan, I caught the bus, 2 buses, and I went to the gym. It was nothing to. And then from the gym, I was meeting my boys up there. You know what I'm saying? And they brought me back to the crib. So it was. And then even sometimes when we went to the gym before, they would come pick me up to go to the gym. You know what I'm saying? It's not. I had a great support system when it came to people helping out, and
you got friends too out there. We haven't really made friends out here yet.
Yeah, it's no new friends like Drake said.
Right.
But yeah, leave it in the comment. Let us know how y'all deal with having a support system or not having a support system. What type of support system do you have? Do you live in a city where it's a nice amount of transportation out there? Because transportation is one of the biggest things as visually impaired people.
Yeah, we need that
we deal with. And I'm sure people who have physical handicaps or physical impairments, try not to use that word. I'm sure that you guys have the same issues as far as transportation because it is a trip getting around transportation, and can't nobody really afford and to realistically catch Ubers and Lyfts all day, every day.
Yeah.
You know, when Uber first came out, it was oh, this is cheap, this is nice. You know what I'm saying? But now they kind of rounded off. They still got fair prices, but it don't feel as cheap or as easy no more. And it might only feel as cheap and easy to me because I stayed in a different situation. I had a little bit more better finances. You know what I'm saying? And not only that, I didn't have to catch it 2 ways. You know what I'm saying? When I was going to the doctor, it was like, okay, this is a $6 trip, and somebody else is picking me up from here. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, in Michigan, I had my father. You know what I'm saying? He's still alive. He complains and acts like he don't want to do something, but he's always there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's true.
And I probably got a little bit of that attitude myself sometimes because I complain about stuff, but I always try to look out for my family as best as I can because I know they look out for me as best as they can. Like it's just the way we were built, put together, I guess, as a family.
Yep.
So
good family unit. So
support is a super topic.
It's vitally important to have support.
I wish spring would go ahead and support themselves with this weather and be balanced, you know what I'm saying? It's going 80 to 40 and 30
that's crazy.
It's crazy, you know what I'm saying? I'm looking forward to them nice warm days.
I'm not looking forward to the bugs, but hey, it comes with the territory.
We got a nice yard outside. We want to start maybe growing some vegetables or something this year, but it's hard to start growing vegetables when the weather ain't balanced all out right.
Yeah. So spring is fighting with winter, and spring need to go ahead and win. That's the way I see it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you guys, so this is just some of the challenges that we face at times, and I know some people who are disabled, not just visually impaired or legally blind, but even just having a disability, um, they they struggle with certain things with their disability as well. So just let us know what's going on. Now we are good with the NFB and things like that. Like they help us out with certain things that giving us information and things like that with certain things that we're trying to do. So we are greatly appreciative of that. And then they also, fight for certain things that we need as blind and visually impaired people for us to be able to flourish independently. Because we have something coming up where we're going to, you know, talk to some people in the senators and things like that, and representatives, yeah,
Speak about different
certain
things that we
need.
Visually impaired people out here.
And we're gonna let you guys in on that journey as much as we can. But it's exciting to be a part of, speaking up, speaking out for things that we need. So that's it. That's the journey, guys. So let us know what you think and let us know your stories. Share your stories with us.
And if you haven't done it already, make sure you hit that like button, the subscribe and follow. If you depending on where you're watching it.
Yes, please.
Share it with somebody. Leave a comment. Make that. The comments are very important. Engage. You know what I'm saying?
I know. I'll be looking for y'all comments now.
Show us some engagement from you guys, and I guess we'll see you on the next video.
Yep, I guess that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching. God bless you. And thank you for the ones who do interact with us in the comments. And we hope to see more of that. All right, so we'll see you guys on the next video.
Peace.
Bye.